Hi everyone, happy Sunday. Welcome on board for this exciting session on AI driven world. We have a very eminent guest Ravi Chatterjee with us, who has so much vast experience, and you must have gone through his LinkedIn profile. I'm one of the fortunate people who had mentorship with Dr. Ravi Chatterjee during my management days, and he's one of those people who were recognized by the government of the UAE. And he has been into academic field for quite some time. He's done in the PhD, and he's the best person I can suggest for today's topic to you guys. I guess we have already waited for some time, so without further ado, I like him to kind of take charge of the presentation and introduce us about little bit about himself and the topic for today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Rishikesh. I would definitely present my slides, but I think it's a good platform where I can speak directly to so many young individuals and professionals. So I'm very happy that we could connect today. And of course, the topic is again further interesting that where AI seems to be taking over somewhere. So whenever I go to my class, it seems like people are really troubled with the fact that how AI is going to be changing this particular job environment and where they would figure out. So I keep telling them that it is not AI which is going to drive the things. It is going to be humans who is going to be driving the AI. But of course, as it is said that change is inevitable, and that is the only constant that goes on. I think we all need to be really prepared for the changes that will happen due to this technological update, right? Especially in academics, I think we have all been seeing that how AI and other smart applications are helping the students, and of course making the life difficult for the professors and the university. But any which way, I think we will have to go on together. Before I move ahead, let me just give you a brief idea of who I am. So it's been around 14 years I have been working, and I have worked in multiple areas related to banking and marketing, sales, and of course training and development. Academics happened to me because of my liking towards teaching, and then PhD happened where I studied the consumer behavior related to their shopping. And then, in my recent days, I have been researching in the area of sustainability, AI, minimalism. So that's how I'm here today. And I think I should be able to help you understand a little bit more in this particular aspect, right? So let me quickly share my presentation. And before I even start, I would request Rishikesh, who has been in the digital marketing industry for quite a few years, to help us understand that what exactly is happening, because this is something he would relate to the best. So Rishikesh, if you can, speak few minutes on this particular aspect, so that you can create the ground for me, and I can take it up from there.
Uh, Thanks, sir. Sure, I can provide some of the updates which I got exposed to with regard to AI. First and foremost, personally, it has been nightmare for me. I had my personal quota of sleepless nights thinking about how AI is eating our jobs and everything. And I hope most of the audience would agree with this fact. I learned a lot of from the youngsters and the generation Y and Z, and we got to know the today's the economy is driven by the big tech giants we commonly call it as a Fang or Mang, is Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. Now these companies have started kind of laying off, or there are news some of the companies have started. It started in Meta, and one thing led to another, and we've started this thing, and the major reason which people tend to blame is the coming of AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and how the resources are getting replaced. Like everything is related to this buzzword called efficiency. Now, I would like to highlight one of the kind of interesting picture of AI as well. In certain universities, because we have a few students among us, few college going students and the job seekers as well. Few of the universities has officially launched AI as in their curriculum already, and there are like trainings happening across the kind of corporate world. I being into digital marketing, I rigorously like go through this AI tools and technologies on a weekly basis. My company this is like one of the prominent media agencies in the world, and they kind of inducted us in this sort of workshop on a weekly basis, there where we expose to different tools and technologies, how we utilize AI in a day-to-day life, and like we have to kind of keep ourselves up to date and know the know-how so that we can serve efficiently with the client. Because if we are not going along with AI, of course we would be left behind. If not, it is not something that they take overs, but like of course knowledge is everything. And coming to this slide, of course, apart from these companies which are major like tech giants, there are numerous other companies which are not listed here, but like that contributes to a huge chunk of jobs that has been laid off. And like people are kind of predicting that AI would replace job because it's cost efficient and all. But of course, like we would need Dr. Ravi Chatterjee to enlighten us that how it is going to happen, it is going to happen or not, and how soon it will be there. Just like for a little bit on the topic, I have like few pointers which I recently discovered, that AI is like intervening in every possible sector in the job industry, whether it's healthcare, finance, like retail. People like on day-to-day life, they kind of interact with AI without knowing, or like sometimes like we know, like for example, Alexa, or the Siri on Apple devices, or Google Assistant. But like sometimes we don't even know that Amazons of the world or like Netflix of the world use it like machine learning excessively to predict our behavior, that what are the series we are going to launch, what are the products like we are going to reorder, like in what quantity, and what could be the season, like this person eats this thing, and this person like going to purchase this thing, or highly likely. I remember like when one last example from my side is 2 months back, I got my driving license. I was just talking to my friends and colleagues. I don't know how this tech things work, but I don't know. I started getting suggestions of all these car dealers, pre-owned cars, or the new cars, what are the schemes and all. And literally, I kind of I can take a oath that I never searched that time that I want to buy a car. So this is that strong technology that doesn't rely that you to kind of punch in certain keywords, but it predicts your behavior based on your actions, on like where you visited or what things you've been talking about. So this was something about what interesting to talk about. But let's hear from Dr. Ravi Chatterjee that how these things actually are shaping our world.
Thank you so much, Rishikesh. Definitely, these statistics do influence our mind to quite an extent, not positively, of course. So let's let's think about a few questions that probably troubling us at this particular moment. So, I could create this particular slide out of the questions which most of my students are asking on a daily basis. What will be the job market situation after the pandemic? Of course, the pandemic is gone, but it's yet not gone. So what kind of jobs will exist? Which kind of technical and behavioral skills why to justify the jobs? Why we're relating pandemic is because the COVID-19 really accelerated the whole process of how AI got seeped in and got accepted very much all across the industry. Okay, that was one shift where people realized that people can actually work from home, and we can find so many ways to get the things done, right, without even having the humans be there on the floor. And that is where the whole idea of automation came into existence. So you see, there are certain incidences or activities or events that happen in our lives based on which the humans are able to create certain thoughts, and it triggers new solutions. And that's how we say that necessity is the mother of invention, and AI is one of those inventions which has come in front of us, and we have to accept it in the best possible way. Okay, so we will definitely talk about how these things are going to influence the job market. Second question that comes to the mind of the people is that, is it a right decision to go for higher studies? Be it be pandemic, be it be recession, be it be any uncertainty that comes to the humankind, I think what we have seen is that people at that particular time would like to upskill themselves, right? Would like to go for a higher study and be ready when the market opens up. All right. So rather than sitting at home, you would like to, get new skills and new certifications. I think that's a good choice. If yes, then which degree program you should opt for? Now, there are so many specialized industries which are coming up now. I'm going to share a few examples with you in my coming slides. And you would realize that a time has come where people with basic skills may not be very relevant, right? We need to be expert in what we do and probably be the best in what we are doing. So if I have to suggest you a degree program, it would be totally depending on what exactly you would like to do, what are your skills already, and where you would like to work. So we will talk about it. Okay, and the people who are working already, okay, who have experience, will I be able to save my job? Okay, that is definitely a question. When you see so many people around you are moving in and out of the jobs, yeah, it is the right decision to shift my job. Many people may think that, whatever it is, let me just accept whatever is happening. If I shift, I don't know what will happen. Will I be able to retain my job then? Yeah. What should I do to improve my chances of finding better jobs in time to come? So all these questions are absolutely relevant. And I don't think that there is anything wrong if you're asking these questions. But of course, getting too troubled with these questions may not be the right way. You will actually have to think about the possible solutions to take care of these problems. Okay. How do you basically, strengthen yourself? Now, this is, one sheet which will definitely help you to understand yourself. And I think if you know yourself, you are the strongest. Okay. So the first question should be, who are we as a person? So if you're able to understand yourself, understand your strengths, what excites you in life, and what exactly you want to achieve. If you're able to answer these questions, I think you should know that which is the direction you would really like to go. Okay, so let me give you just 2 minutes time, and you quickly run this through in your mind and see that what kind of answers you're getting. So just take 2 minutes. It's perfectly fine. All right. So I'm sure you must have got something that who you are, what are your strengths, what excites us in life, and what you want to achieve in life. So let me tell you one thing. Many might have got the answer that money excites me in life. Now, if that is what the answer you have got, I tell you that definition changes. All right. Money can never excite you after a certain level, because when you have it, you really realize that too much of it may not be that exciting, because you are able to fulfill all your basic requirements. So there comes where you will have to find that what really motivates you. Is it helping others motivates you, or doing something new motivates you, doing something different motivates you? So I think it has to be much more than the simple money aspect. Okay. And what I mentioned here is that the will, skill, and velocity is something that you need to have in order to succeed in this competitive world. So what is the immediate job scenario that we see here? Okay, increased number of unemployment, which Rishikesh has already shared with you, availability of highly experienced and skilled workers. Now, this is what is happening here in Dubai specifically, where there are limited job opportunities and there are many people who are experienced. You would also see that there is a decrease in the salary. Why? Because there are more numbers of professionals. There is increased need for digital skills, of course, because the AI and the other technology is here. So you will actually have to equip yourself in a better way. Go for higher studies or go for certifications. And of course, you need to choose these programs online, because this will bring down the cost substantially. So few of the aspects that you can definitely look into would be enhancing technological skills, negotiation and group dynamics, good writing skills, creative thinking, persuasion skills, and human skills. So, guys, we need to understand that even if artificial intelligence becomes super smart and is able to take most of the jobs done by the humans at the basic level, but still humans will always be relevant, because till now, I don't think there is any possibility that AI can really mimic the emotions, and to the extent where humans would not be needed. Okay, so I think we will be surely relevant for a few more years. Okay, so we should be able to do good, at least in our generation. And of course, in time to come, people will definitely find the way out how they can be relevant. Okay, so if we are concerned about our own self, I think these are certain things which should be taken care of. You can always keep a note of these things. If you really want to understand more about it, you can ask me during the question and answer session. I would be happy to give you examples and discuss more about it. So, when you have understood that we humans need to change so many things, and we will have to adapt to the changing requirement, we need to feed it in our brain that we have 3 phases to go. One is unfreeze, because what happens is, we quickly get comfortable that who I am is the best. Now, in that kind of a thought process, you would never be flexible to try something new or be ready for any kind of suggestions. So I think it's very important that we tell ourselves that we need to unfreeze and we need to be ready for the change to happen. All right. And once we have unfrozen ourselves psychologically, I think it is a time best that we move in making the change. And how would you be making the change? By, of course, learning what is happening in the latest scenario. And then, of course, once you've retrained yourself and made yourself capable and market ready, you would refreeze yourself. You just cannot keep changing, because like we say, training and development, you train and then you develop. How do you develop? You put yourself in that particular situation and you see that how you're able to perform with the new learning. All right, so you refreeze and try to bring or try to implement what you have learned. Okay, so please keep these 3 things in mind, especially if you're new to this job market. This is a very interesting slide, and it has been a slide that I keep using past 14-15 years. You would see that people get trained mostly for knowledge and skills. All right, you go for higher studies, we give you knowledge, we train you for doing things, which is skills. You get the job, very good. But you know what? If you need to sustain the job, you really need to have the right attitude and the right habit. Okay, and this is where the majority of the termination happens. So are we training ourselves with attitude and habit? May not be. All right, and this is where we are facing the maximum difficulty. All right, whenever there is any uncertainty that comes in, our attitude and habit just goes awry, and that's why our knowledge and skills are not able to support us too much, because we are not at the right state. Okay, so I think it's very important that we realize this particular aspect and are able to hone our skills related to attitude and habit as well. Okay. Very good. So communication has to be the backbone. And why do I say that is because if as an individual, you are not able to express yourself, people really would not know you. All right. Be it be an online platform, be it be your personal relationship, wherever it is, if you're not able to communicate yourself to the other person, nobody knows you. All right. And I think that is societal, because if you are not able to express yourself, if you're not able to tell who you are to the other person, you are not making any sense. And if you're not making any sense, I don't think anybody would come to you and say that, you know what, would you like to take this job? Sorry, it's not happening. You would really have to make that effort to go out there and tell the world what you're exactly doing. Okay, so if you think that you need to challenge AI, you definitely need to be smart, and you need to be having that exciting communication that people start realizing that, yes, this guy is something he can really do good, or this guy is something who can make things happen. So let's quickly see that why we need communication. Look at these very, very important aspects to change behavior, not for yourself, for the other person. So if you need to lead, if you need to work in a team, of course, you would be required to make certain changes in people, all right? And that's how you will be able to bring change at the organizational level, all right? So if you're already working in organizations and having an idea that you would like to move ahead in your job role, you have to change behavior, and that's how you need to have very good communication skills. Get to action, right? And how would you get action done? You would be getting action done by instructing people, by motivating people, right? And telling them what exactly they're supposed to do. Communication to ensure understanding. If somebody is telling you something, you need to understand that. Of course, that's part of communication. To persuade people, all right? You need to convince people on a daily basis, including your parents and your siblings and your life partner. Yeah, ask me. Okay, to get and give information. Of course, this is required everywhere. So I think you have got the idea that communication is definitely very much needed. So now, with that understanding, let us go to this particular assessment, which you would be doing for your own self. And I would just ask you about your performance in the following sessions, in the following slides. So the components where you would be grading yourself will be: how's your thought, how's your expression, how's your presentability, your body language, and the overall confidence. Okay, so think over for thoughts. What comes to your mind? Are you a positive thinker? Any situation that comes in front of you, is the thought positive? Like, for example, my boss comes to me and says, Ravi, you know what? You have to get this done. What's my thought process? Why me? Why not the other person? Why every time you're coming to me? All right. Or is my thought that, okay, let me just take it as a, interesting job and convert it and learn something out of it. You see what I mean? So thoughts, definitely. Are you a positive thinker? You need to check it for yourself. Expressions. There are many people who would say that I really can't do anything about it. If I'm angry inside, it will be visible on my face. But is it the right way? I really don't think so. Okay, I'm not saying that you be political, okay, or diplomatic. What I'm saying is that you should know how to have the white lie. Have you heard about white lie? White lie means that you're lying, but it is for helping yourself and others. Okay, it is not hurting anybody. So there are situations, say for example, my daughter, if she is drawing something, she would come to me. Of course, I can tell her that how you can improve on the things. But there will be certain times where I would say, oh, this is very good, and you should definitely try more. And why I'm saying that, because I would like the person to get motivated to try more and probably improve in life. Okay, so there are certain white lies that we need to do even with our expressions, and I think it is very important and crucial to definitely hide certain expressions which may not be comforting to others. Presentability. I tell you, when I moved to Dubai, I realized that how important it is for an individual to present themselves. And I see that there are many people out here who may not be that great in their work, but they are super presenters. All right. And you must have seen in today's advertisement world that companies are speaking about their story in such a unique way, and that is called the storytelling method. All right, and people get connected so very easily because people are really looking out for that personal touch, which I think is missing big time in this artificial world. Okay, no, not artificial, AI enabled world. Okay, let's move on. Body language, posture, gesture, eye contact. I remember there was a professor of psychology who just came into the class, and he was like, guys, I really know who you are and what you're thinking. And we were like, come on, how you can say that? He said, I can say that because the way you're sitting, the kind of attitude you're holding, the kind of dress you're wearing, the kind of color combinations you're having, it speaks about who you are. Yeah. So you just see that, your non-verbal communication speaks so much for you. And I think you should be really, really careful about how you're conducting yourself, even if you are alone at home, because you should know that you're training yourself for the test day. Okay. Okay. And I think this is one place where people find the biggest challenge: confidence. Most of my students would come and say, "So how do I gain confidence?" And I tell them that, there is no other way than to work hard. I really cannot give you confidence. You really cannot say that, okay, give me one confidence, two confidence. Sir, tomorrow I have a presentation. I think I need three confidence. It doesn't happen. Confidence comes when you are able to try all of these things in a nice way, and you feel heart to heart that you can actually do this well. So confidence just comes in. All right. Okay, so I would not spend too much time in this because we have limited time. We would really like to give you time for question and answers. All right. So at the end of the heavy discussion, of course, I'm not ending so quickly, but what I'm saying is that the action plan that you can have for now would be prioritizing your life, that exactly what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Okay. Have multiple options. I see people are really fixated with the thought that if this is not happening, I'll carry on taking drop and I would see if it happens or not. I really don't think that can be the approach now. Things are changing in a very, very fast pace. And I think we really don't have that kind of time to experiment with things. Okay. So I think it's very important that you have clear goals that, okay, 1, 2, 3. If one is not working, 2 is fine. If 2 is not working, 3 is fine. I think, 3 options should definitely keep you comfortable. And as an expert, I advise the same even for entrepreneurs. Okay. Having 3 plan wherever you are and whatever you're doing should be keeping you comfortable. All right. So have multiple options. Don't get really fixated with the things. Sector choice. See, of course, you would be seeing what's your interest, but you would also like to see that which sector is supposed to grow, which sector is supposed to be stable. All right. Like, for example, past around 10, 12 years, I have been in academics, and whatever the market scenario has been, academics has always been stable. All right. There hasn't been, any impact of the external world to that extent. Okay. Because I told you that even during the uncertainties, students would be going for higher education. So do have a sector choice. I'm going to speak about a few sectors to you, based out of which you can decide on further. Get into details, be the expert, keep the right frame of mind. Please don't get too troubled. Accept the change. That is the best thing to do, and get started. Okay. Don't keep dreaming that, okay, I will do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Okay. So, I think we have a quick poll. If Rishikesh thinks that it is relevant now, we can have it, or we can have it a little later, whichever way. Rishikesh, you think that we can have a poll right now, or we can have it
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me just launch the poll, guys. Like, it will be very interesting to know your opinion. And believe me, it's not that serious of you must be thinking. I am not sure that is it visible to all?
Yes.
Is it launched?
Yeah.
Okay. I request please to fill it out really quick so that we can cover the rest of the presentation and maybe one surprise activity for you. So we can have 20 more seconds.
How would people opt their answers? Because seems like there is no clicking button.
Okay. I guess like it's a glitch about AI related world, but like I'm so sorry for that. But in that case, if the options are not there, you can just feel free to kind of punch in your answers. Like that would be more engaging in a way. Little bit of hassle, but come on, like we cannot just rely everything on the system. Okay, maybe like I'll ask these questions. So have you ever yelled at your computer or phone when they didn't understand you? I do all the time, like especially to Alexa. And I cannot even tell you what the words I am using.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I use the chat box, guys, kind of use it. Please feel free to punch in your options. and I will figure it out next time that how it should work. I'm not even able to copy it. Otherwise, I would have put the questions here.
I think we can share the result. I think we have received few.
Okay.
So okay, we I think this poll result is visible to all of you.
Is it generating the result? I'm not sure like why I'm not getting the results as well.
Yeah, it is visible.
Right. So you can see that we have quite a few stable people who are who know how to balance their emotion. That's very nice. So they have not yelled all the time. Very good. Do you trust AI-powered assistant? People have not shown too much of confidence in that. Okay, no problems. Do you had an AI-powered personal shopper? Many people have not yet because it is still catching up. Fair enough. Okay, that was googly. If you could choose any AI powered companion, what kind of creature would you like it to be? Okay, owl, really? My daughter should have definitely gone for a dog. Okay, that's very good.
And
Thank
like
you.
just like let you know a fun fact, guys. Like this whole kind of poll was created by the Chat GPT itself. So
Wow, very nice.
I'll take care of the glitch like which happened on the question 4. Thanks.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Rishikesh. It was really interesting. So let us just quickly get back. I will spend maximum 5 more minutes on my upcoming slides. So you see the statistics, very interesting. By 2030, as many as 1 in every 16 workers would be forced to change their career. That basically means 100 million people across 8 major economies: UK, US, Australia, India, like that. So, in major economies, these shifts are going to happen. So, which is really a big number. All right. Now, when we're talking about high skill occupations, it will be related to, say, health industry or engineering industry. Okay. So, of course, in that the demand will go up, and where the demand will go down would be services which are related to production or administrative support. Of course, these jobs will go down. All right. Now, when we are talking about growth in e-commerce, we saw that there was a huge requirement for the warehouse workers. Right. With the green economy investments, we see that there is so much of requirement for the wind turbine technicians, and and further, when we see that there is a aging population, so in time to come we are going to have a lot of oldies with us. So of course the nursing and the health related industries will definitely go up, the jobs related to that. Okay, so I think we have this sense. We should be able to evaluate that which industry is supposed to go up and which industry is supposed to go down. Okay, most of the automation is coming, of course, at the basic level, like I was telling you. So I think those jobs will be replaced the fastest. And of course, digital technology has enabled and made it possible for so many companies to move into this particular automated functioning. There was a professor who came from France, and I was speaking to him. He was one of those initial people who was part of the artificial intelligence department there in the US. And he was speaking that how each company in Europe is trying their best to make sure that automation comes in a big way in their companies. Okay, and why is it that? Because of course you understand that Europe is struggling with their labor force. They're finding it difficult to have them, and of course the recession is very high. Now, moving on, there are so many people who would really like to get into human resource management. But sadly, human resource management is going to evolve in a very, very big way. Okay, it is not going to be what it has been. So you would see HR analytics to be really coming up, and of course it has got implemented to quite an extent. Many of the human resource features of the jobs, say for example, recruitment and selection, will happen through AI. All right, because the kind of combination, the kind of depth it can go, I don't think a human can actually do that. So these are few insights, and I think you should be able to understand that how the market is going to shift. Uh, Value is something that I really wanted to touch upon, because value is something which creates benefits for the end users. End users can be the organizations or the customers. So if you think that you are a product or you are a service that people should buy, basically you should get a job based on the concept that how much you are able to give back to the organization, what kind of a value you're able to create for them. And when I teach this particular topic in my marketing class, I tell them that value is co-created. Co-created means when there is the supplier and the consumer, both of these parties working together creates value. All right, so you should know how you really fit in this particular discussion, and how you are able to create value for yourself and of course for the other person. All right, so these are certain trends which are there in the market: mobilization, ultra personalization, marketing automation, empower technology, and of course the CRM centric marketing. So all of these are the latest trends based on which the companies are changing. Few examples, very, very nice. How you see Uber, which was totally focused on taking people from one place to another, has shifted into creating Uber Eats, which is really doing good here in UAE. All right, and so you can see the level at which the brand has penetrated the market, right? Whereas Uber was a very, very market specific or a segment specific product. What is the latest thing? The latest thing is sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, and recycling. And this is across all the industries. Okay, so if you think that you can relate yourself to these aspects to some way, you should be able to make yourself relevant. You should be able to get some jobs. All right, because this is what is happening today. Look at the different kind of jobs which has come into existence. Right? And I don't think that it was ever possible that you can think of renting all these different aspects of life. Now it is very, very easy. So a few examples from Dubai. You should definitely come to Dubai. Okay. We have this wonderful deep dive, which is one of the deepest pool in the world. And I think you know all Will Smith. He's the brand ambassador who came to inaugurate this particular site. Amazing it is. Could you have thought about this kind of experience ever? Never. All right. And see, this is how humans will always remain relevant, because this is where they are able to create that kind of environment. There are people, there are services which will be provided by humans, right? And artificial intelligence may not be able to intervene much. The future museum. Of course, this is all about technology, but it gives the amazing experience to the people. So what I'm saying is that in time to come, if we are creative, we would not only start working with creative companies, but also will be able to create our own creative solutions, which we can sell through our companies. All right. And this is one of those examples which is doing extremely well in Dubai specifically. All right. So people from all over the world, they would come to see this. And I tell you, there is no immediate booking. You have to pre-book the things, and then only you will be able to get the entry. Robo Cafe. Don't ask me how the food tastes, but the experience is really nice. People would stand over there and they would just wait for their turn. It's not only the people who are ordering food who will be excited. It will be all the people who are seeing this happening. They will be excited. They'll be just standing there and clapping. So yeah, anything new, anything interesting should work. And then there is this Green Planet, which is again a very, very unique service where people can go into a space, a place where they will be given so many examples of nature and how nature can be. Kids have a good time. Yeah. And this is the last slide before we open up the platform for questions. Professor Harari is a person who I follow, and he speaks a lot about the future. All right, he is a great speaker and has amazing thought process. He's from Israel. but he stays most of the time in New York and in US. So he has written quite a few books, and he speaks about how the world is going to be changing. And if you see, he has coined a new class of people, which is called the useless class. So he says that even if you give them maximum training, you carry on changing your skills, but still you would not be relevant because there are going to be no jobs for you. Okay, so I would really end my talk, with this. Why? Because AI definitely is here to stay and will make the changes as it is required. Okay, so we need to get prepared for it. We need to get smart, and we need to understand that how we will be able to be relevant in different job sectors. I've given you enough examples. You should be able to do more research and understand which are the upcoming sectors and how you can make yourself relevant in that particular area. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me, and now I'm open to questions. If you don't want to unmute yourself, you can always put up the questions in the chat box.
Feel free to do it. Otherwise, let me know, like if you're facing any issue in like unmuting, or if you want to kind of ask directly, feel free to do so. Meanwhile, I have one question on the specific slide, which was very relevant in an kind of explained in very comprehensive
Sure.
uh, way, sir. That like you explained the kind of flow that unfreezing, and then taking actions, and then freezing again to
Right.
stabilize.
Yeah.
In all these like steps, how much agility is required, or is it required at all or not? Do you think this is something sort of time sensitive things that we should all be aware and make our move more faster?
So, the thing is that we humans get emotional with what we have learned and the way we have been doing the things. Okay, so I think it's always good to come out of our comfort zone and accept that there are newer ways of doing things. Like, for example, there are three possible routes that I can take to go to my office on an everyday basis, but I generally see for myself that I take one particular route almost every day because I'm comfortable with it. All right. Not that that is the shortest, but I am comfortable with it. So one day I actually pushed myself to take another route, and I felt that that route is much more easy because there is less crowd, and I can reach my office early. So I think trying new things is very important, and that's what the slide was speaking about. That when you unfreeze yourself, it is telling yourself that I'm ready to change and I'm ready to accept the newer ways of working out things. And of course, once you have understood the newer way and then you try it, okay, and that is where you are going in the second stage. And the third stage is where you are again, refreezing. It is because you know that this is now the best way. Okay, but of course, keep checking. All right, don't get convinced for a long time. Then you might become a little unrelevant. Okay, so here we see there is a question. Can you throw some light on the future of e-commerce and how AI will impact the current e-commerce landscape? Of course, I think you don't have to go anywhere. You just come to Dubai, like I was saying. So you would be able to see all this future technology being used in this particular industry. Of course, automation is one thing that has been brought in. When Rishikesh was speaking about machine learning, I think you need to understand that how machine learning is helping the robotics and that particular industry. So say, for example, I have three different work that I need to get done through robots. Okay, and I really don't want to buy specialized robots for everything. Okay, as a business owner, what I'll do is that I will have machine learning for them, and the same set of robots will be able to do another set of job with the function of machine learning. All right. So what is happening in this particular bargain is that machines are becoming smarter, and they are the possibility of making multiple kind of output out of these machines are becoming possible. So because of this particular reason, companies are choosing the automation process more and more, and especially where errors can happen, or the chances of having errors are more, they're replacing it with machines. So at the base level, I personally feel that things will change quite a bit. We have these smart screens where you just go and stand, and you will be able to see yourself wearing any of the apparels or accessories. You have to just swipe, and you will be able to see how you look. So you really don't need the store staff to be there to help you or something. You just pick up the things from that smart screen, and there are those robotic arms which will just pick up the stuff from you, or it will give you the direction where you can go and pick up the things. So what this is making is that it is making everything smart, and as consumers, as customers visiting these kind of stores, you can make most of the things at your own level. You would see the smart checkouts are now possible in almost all the grocery stores and all the hypermarkets. So you just take your stuff, you just scan the things yourself, and you're able to go without intervention of any store staff. So the self-service booths are also very much there. So you can see that, of course, these things are coming in, and it is changing the landscape.
So if I may, like, of course, like in e-commerce, I want to share one thing is like, when I moved to Dubai, like this was quite frustrating for initial 6 months at least, that for me and my wife to see that most and most like this giant stores and like, supermarkets do not have like, a staff to assist us, unlike India. So
Yeah,
it's also a kind of, a unique experience for me, but like of course we kind of got habituated of it. And on e-commerce, like while I very much like fond of like doing e-commerce shopping, so and being from advertising industry, that it's fascinating to see the algorithms are now predicting that should they be serving our ad based on XYZ users likelihood of buying the item. So the algorithm is now kind of know that this user or the set of users are likely to buy, how much would be the value, the price point, and on the base of that they would be serving. So it's quite fascinating that how AI is in every part of our day-to-day life.
absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with you. So, so Rishikesh, if we can get some feedback from our audience, I think that will be really nice, and we will be. I think you will be able to have future, sessions like these on the same line.
Sure. I mean, wouldn't hold you for long. I just like share one form, guys, in the chat box. If you can please, fill this, it will help us organize it in a more, proper fashion. Like maybe you can provide your honest feedback here. I'm not sure it's clickable or not. I'm just
Yeah, yeah.
repasting the link again. In the meantime, of course, in last couple of minutes, we can take a question or two. Maybe like someone feels the urge to like, ask on this session. Anyone?
Yeah, I have one, kind of a general question that
Please.
in any way, is it going to happen that AI will create more jobs than it displaces?
So, for every government today, it is a very big challenge to think about that how they're going to manage the time to come. Okay, so if you are a person who follows AI, you know exactly what metaverse is going to create. Metaverse is going to be a radical shift into the lives of humans. And of course, with all these technologies, you would see there are going to be many, many job losses. And when you talk about creating jobs or AI enabling more jobs, that could be a possibility, because then people will find newer ways of working out things, not only in the real world, but in metaverse as well, right? I understand that people will start going to schools to work, for any kind of recreation. They will go to metaverse. They would not be taking their car and going to the mall, because that kind of a scenario will change. So, what I'm saying is that there can be a possibility, but what we see today is that we really don't know. Even coming from best of the best business schools, we are not sure that what we are teaching today is relevant for next 15, 20 years. Okay, so yeah, it is quite a shift that is happening today, and that there could be certain possibilities that what you're saying, that there can be more jobs. Never know.
Yeah,
That's
like as we
that's
are
the positive.
seeing right now that because of the self checkout, the sales department is going to cut off. Like
Yeah,
many other cases are there.
sure.
But that you said that metaverse, when the metaverse will come, people will not go out of their home. They'll do not have to, ride the car or anything.
Right.
So in that way, there is one positive effect also, that the environment, the climate change will affect,
Sure.
obviously.
Sure. Of course, we'll become more sustainable. Yeah.
Right. So there is pros and cons to every situation.
Of course. The biggest problem today is population. Why humans are killing the other? Of course, because they have ammunition. That's a different thing. But like many leaders have said, if we have ammunition, we have to use it, right? We just can't stock it and make snacks out of it. So, but of course, the chances will become much lesser, where humans will find pride in killing the other human, because there will be more resources. And I think we have seen ourselves, when we have surplus, we are satisfied. So we'll have more satisfied people. Of course, it is going to create a lot of safety for the people. Yeah. Thanks for the question. Anybody would like to, show us by, putting on the camera and just coming forward and speaking to us? You really don't have to ask questions, but this is a very nice platform where we could have got to know each other, which I feel that technology should be able to help us wherever we are. So anybody who would like to show themselves and would like to introduce themselves or speak something?
So guys, like to make the most of it, like of course you can utilize the platform and this session to network as well.
Yeah.
Feel free to kind of show yourself in the camera. Maybe you can unmute, or like you can put something on chat box, or you can like even put your LinkedIn profile on the chat box, and we kind of promise to follow you and like add the connection request for sure.
Yeah. And then you're most welcome to get connected with me anytime you want. We can always catch up and have a good discussion. Yeah.
Hi Ravi sir.
Hello.
Hi, Smart this side. I can't put on my camera because weekends are not the days for camera to be turned on. I'm so sorry about that. But
Sure.
then yes, I'm from Publicis. So the session has been just to give a background. I have been in the system for good 9 to 10 years now.
All right.
Worked across channels, specifically in digital marketing. So the session was very exciting. I know that right now is the time that world is getting more closer to AI, to be honest, and most of the things are being done by AI. So I'm just gonna restrict myself to the domain that I work in. I
Sure.
know that it's kind of 360, but I'm just gonna kind of nectar my stuff to what I work on right now.
Great.
So to I kind of face one challenge right now. I know that there's so many tools for us, specifically for digital marketers, to kind of, maybe for content creators as well, to adopt and maybe make their life easier. But there's one thing that I've come across. So we have tried to kind of run a couple of tests, UGC, or maybe human-centered content or strategies versus the AI one, or maybe all the AI-centered or powered suggestion that Google Ads or maybe other platforms kind of suggest for you to enhance your performance, or maybe drive more revenue or KPI that you've been working on.
Right.
It's always, as of now, it's something that I've seen, that till the time we do not have a right intervention of human at the very right time, and we blindly just follow everything that what they're saying, to be honest, like just implement what they have, or maybe run content that's been suggested by ChatGPT using AI PRM prompts and everything.
Yeah.
I've seen that the interactivity, or maybe the reception towards AI powered content, or maybe strategies, or the results through that has not been very significant for us till the time we do not come in between, tweak it, and then kind of implement it. So I
Sure.
just want to understand, is it too early? I'm not sure how to put this across. Is it too early for us to kind of be solely dependent on AI for stuff, or is it like we are kind of being pressurized to adopt AI fully in our job position and everything?
Great. Thank you so much for that question. So, Samat, I'll just give you a simple example from the past, and I think you will be able to understand it very well. When industrialization happened, when there was a requirement for manufacturing products in a big way, there was a shift in the job market, right? And people started moving into that. Similarly, it happened when smartphones came into existence. I remember I was one of those customers who did not purchase a smartphone in the initial 6 months because I was, one, comfortable with what I was using, and second, I really was not confident that I will be able to understand it. Okay, so I kept myself away from it, but that really did not help me. Okay, so when I started using smartphone, I realized that okay, this is probably the new way. And I think if AI is taking time, it is good for us. Okay, if AI is not becoming instantly successful, I think it is good for us. So we have some time to know more about it, to skill ourselves to work along with it in a better way, and probably make ourselves relevant. So we have to accept it as soon as possible. Like I was telling, there is no way AI is going anywhere. It is here to stay, and it will become stronger and stronger in time to come. And how I can be so confident? I'm working with many people here who are coders into the metaverse. Okay, they are already creating a lot of packages and patches which will be used by the future companies who have already purchased space in the metaverse. Okay, so trust me, may not be your kids, but your kids might go to school in metaverse. Okay.
Thank you. As daunting as it sounds, I'm not sure whether it's interesting or not.
Yes.
I believe like the previous generation would have thought the same, like for us, like,
Yeah,
during pandemic, attending calls on Zoom and working online.
True. So the previous generation will always have that kind of a thought process. But I see my daughter, she's so comfortable sitting with her tablet from morning till evening. She would really not care what's happening in the world, and she's so happy.
Sure. And
I,
like, if I may, like, there's this incident happened like a week ago, like when, out of sudden, like my father was asking like how many employees are there in my company.
yeah,
I wasn't able to answer it because it's a global company and there are like hundreds and like maybe thousands of employees already there, like located in different countries. So
yeah.
his simple ask was that why don't you check the attendance register? So imagine like the difference in like generation gap, like
I know, I know. So I was seeing somebody who wanted to speak to us. Uh, Please come forward. Okay. If you change
So
your mind, no problems.
okay, so if we do not have any more question, I wouldn't like, take more time from sir, like, and really like, if people like, you can turn on your camera, maybe like just I can take a selfie here, because
Yeah.
this is a kind of virtual way like to take the selfie these days, and it really encourage us to like keep organizing certain stuffs, and like, we would definitely request sir also to come like in more often to these social tantrums weekend workshops as well, and we would require a detailed session as well in future. So thanks so much. Like people are turning on the cameras. That's nice.
Hey, hi, Professor.
Hello. Good to see all of you.
Hey, hi, Professor. How are you?
Hello. Good, please. So,
Anyone else left out? I can
yes, may I
just
request others to as well? I'm sure you all will be looking smart.
okay. Let me capture it.
So maybe in my next session, you will see my avatar. Yeah.
Wow. We just want like at least like the session would be live, and it's not like that everything is pre-programmed and like
Yeah.
we are asking question and like it's fueled by some algorithm, and like
Yeah.
the avatar is getting the answers.
True.
Okay. With that, like, I would like to express my like heartfelt thanks to Dr. Ravi Chatterjee for this session, and like would definitely look forward to get like more insights in future and keep enlightening us. And thank you so much everyone to attend this and like taking the
Thank you.
time on Sunday.
Thank you so much, everybody. Good day to you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.